tablet computer. The Pew Research Center reported that approximately 60% of U.S. adults own a tablet computer such as an iPad, Samsung Galaxy Tab, or Kindle Fire. Suppose a simple random sample of 15 people is taken. Use the binomial probability distribution to find the following probabilities. Since we are to use the binomial probability distribution, we will need to assume that x is the binomial experiment. But first we need to define x. And so, since we're looking for the probability that exactly 4 of the sampled people own a tablet, and so the question about the probability based on the number of people own the tablet, so we let x be the number of people, assuming that people mean you as adult here, who owns a tablet. And so in this case, the possible values for x are 0, 1, 2, all the way to 15, because there are 15 trials, 15 people in these samples. X is a binomial distribution with the parameter n equals 15, and the probability of success, meaning the probability that any given chosen US adult who owns a tablet is 60%, so p equals 0.6, n equals 15, and p equals 0.6 in this case. Part A. Find the probability that exactly 4 of the sampled people owned a tablet computer. Translating this in symbolic form, we're looking for p of x equals 4, exactly 4. And since this is a binomial distribution, we first list the number of ways to choose 4 from 15. And this is a binomial coefficient 15, choose 4. Next, we need to include the probability of success, in this case 0.6, raised to the power of how many we want. We want 4 successes. And then 1 minus the probability of success, so 1 minus 0.6. Take this and raise it to the remaining. Out of 15 people, if we have 4 who own a tablet, then it is 15 minus 4 remaining who do not own a tablet. And so, simply put, this is 15 choose 4 times 0.6 raised to the 4th power times 0.4 raised to 11 power. Usually we use a calculator to compute this. And if we were to use a calculator, then we will get 0.0074, rounded to 4 decimal places in this case. And so the probability that exactly 4 out of 15 who own a tablet computer is 0.0074. Find the probability that fewer than 3 of the people own a tablet. And so this event includes few than 3 people. What does that mean here? In terms of the number of x, the possible values for x are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 15. And so what are those numbers need to be included in this event? Fewer than 3. If it's fewer than 3, then x can only be 0, 1, and 2. It cannot be 3 because 3 is not fewer than 3. And so we're looking for the probability that x is strictly less than 3. This is the probability of x equals 0 plus the probability of x equals 1 plus the probability of x equals 2. And for each of these probabilities, we will set up the binomial formula. For p of x equals 0, we take 15 choose 0, 0.6 raised to 0, because we only need 0 in this case, but If we have 0 successes, then 0.4 failure. This means 0 who own a tablet at 15 who do not own a tablet. For the second probability of x equals 1, this time it is 15 choose 1, and then 0.6 1 success, and then 0.4 14 remaining failure. Success means they own a computer, tablet. Failure means they do not own a tablet computer. And then for the last probability, p of x equal 2, this is 15 choose 2. This is not a fraction, but it is a binomial coefficient. 0.6, how many of success we want? 2 in this case, because 15 choose 2, so 2 successes. If there are 2 successes, then there are 13 failure, because there are 15 total. Notice that 0 plus 15 is 15, 1 plus 14 is 15, and 2 plus 13 is 15. We then use a calculator to determine this value, with the lower value is 0 and the upper values is 2. And so we have 0.000279, but we round it to 6 decimal places this time because the number is too small. Next, find the probability that more than one person owns a tablet computer. We're looking for the probability of x greater than 1, strictly more than 1. This means we're looking for the probability of x equal 2 plus the probability of x equal 3 plus the probability of x equals 4 plus all the way to the probability of x equals 15. But if we were to set up each of these terms for each of these probabilities, then we would need to set up 2 to 15. That is a lot of terms. Well, we can calculate this probability indirectly by using the complement. The probability of x greater than 1 is 1 minus the probability of x less than or equals to 1. Notice that the possible value of x are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 15. And so the event more than 1 is the event that includes 2, 3, 4, all the way to 15. The complement of that event is now 0 and 1. And so we will take 1 minus the probability of x equals 0 minus the probability of x equals 1. This time, we only need to take 1 minus 2 terms that we set up as above. 15 choose 0, 0.6 raised to 0 power, 0.4 raised to 15 power. We did that earlier. And for p of x equals 1, we have 15 choose 1, 0.6 raised to 1 power, and then 0.4 raised to 14 power. And if we were to put it in a calculator, the lower values go from 2 and the upper value all the way to 15 because we want more than 1. We will get 0.999975, where we round it to 6 decimal places. Lastly, find the probability that the number of people who own a tablet computer is between 1 and 4 inclusive. This time, we're looking for the probability that x is between 1 and 4. The word inclusive means we need to include 1 and 4. And so this is p of x equals 1 plus p of x equal 2 plus p of x equals 3 plus p of x equals 4. There are 4 terms here. For p of x equals 1, we have 15 choose 1, 0.6 raised to 1 power, 0.4 raised to 14 power. For p of x equal 2, we have 15 choose 2, 0.6 raised to 2 power, and then 0.4 raised to 13. Plus, for p of x equal 3, 15 choose 3, 0.6 raised to 3 power, 0.4 raised to 12 power, plus p of x equal 4, 15, choose 4, 0.6 raised to the 4th power, and then 0.4 raised to 11th power. And this time, using the calculator, the lower value is 1 and the upper value is 4. And we would have a probability of 0.009347, where we round it to 6 decimal places.